former New Jersey Superior Court judge and host of the Judging Freedom podcast, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Great to see you.
Good morning, John.
It's been a minute since we've seen each other.
I know. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Appreciate you coming on in so early. Judge, sentencing here, though, for Donald Trump in his New York criminal trial here, the bookkeeping one, is set for September 18th. Now, Trump's legal team has asked to move this sentencing date until after the November presidential election. Now, the prosecutors, they seem open to this, but they're going to leave that decision up to the judge to make that decision, which is Judge Marchand. What do you expect to happen here?
As you and I were chatting in the break, I have sentenced more than 1,000 people in my career. I can't remember the prosecutors ever saying, Judge, it's up to you. Judge, we don't care if it's adjourned. So it's very odd that the prosecutors are saying, in light of the application by defense lawyers to adjourn this till after Election Day, the prosecutors are saying, Judge, it's up to you. We have no opinion on it. I think there is pressure, political pressure, on Justice Marchand, and there shouldn't be. Part of what former President Trump was saying, and his complaints are real, is that this is a political system. It's been the system in New York for 120 years, but it's political. Mm-hmm. The prosecutors are elected. They have to pander to their base. The judges are elected. They have to pander to their base. What does the base want? The base are Democrats. The base is Manhattan. They want to see Trump sentenced. Now, is he going to sentence him to jail? I think, and I've been talking to colleagues who do what I do for a living, comment on this. He's going to sentence him to 6 months in prison, suspend 5 months, and order 1 month served after Election Day. And I think he's going to do all that before Election Day.
I mean, what kind of pressure is that going to put on his office, though, the judge? I mean, we saw how many supporters were down there at the courthouse, even for the verdict.
You know, judges are supposed to be impervious to pressure. They shouldn't look at the headlines. They shouldn't look at the politics. They shouldn't look at what the crowds want, except in New York, where the judges have to run for re-election. And it's only human that their eyes are on these other things. That's where the former president, that clip you just ran showing him in Bedminster, is absolutely correct. This is not an intellectually honest system that convicted him.
Looking past the sentencing, I mean, Trump's legal team does think that this is going to get overturned in appellate court. Do you still feel that way?
I'm sure they do feel that way. I don't think so, because the same appellate panel to which they've made many applications has ruled against them just about every time. In fact, every single time.
Let's move on here. Trump aides, though, they think that these prosecutions will not play a role in the election, though, because they do think that with 2.5 months to the election, many of the voters that are going to vote for Trump believe that these cases are political.
Right.
But let's get to the D.C. one, because there's a status conference in the D.C. election case. This has been set for September 5th by Judge Tanya Chutkan. How do you see this case moving forward?
Normally a status conference is a below-the-radar event that nobody cares about. The defendant doesn't normally go to it. It's just the lawyers and the judge sitting there and deciding on scheduling. This one is very important. Mm-hmm. Prediction, she's going to schedule a trial date. Prediction, before Election Day. That doesn't mean that there will be a trial before Election Day, but if she schedules that trial date before Election Day, she has taken this January 6th case and put it right in the middle of the presidential campaign.
And I mean, we know how long these trials can last. It can spread over weeks. So,
if this case goes to trial, you're talking 7 to 8 weeks. So it's impossible to have it done before Election Day, but it is not impossible for it to start before Election Day, and the defendant must be there in the courtroom for 100% of the trial.
Let's get to this last one before we go. We got about a minute left. We do expect to hear the government's appeal of the dismissal of the Mar-a-Lago documents case. This could happen before Election Day as well.
I think it will be.
Do you think that this one will get overturned?
Yes, I think it will be overturned. Because the manner in which Jack Smith was appointed has been approved by federal trial and appellate judges throughout the country. When will that happen? Before Election Day.
Lots of stuff going on from the legal front. Judge Napolitano, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I love how you break this down.
Thank you, John. Pleasure, my friend.